Topical issues. Descendants of Kindu of Uganda or the Buganda Kingdom and the Mulogoli, sons of Andimi, pathways at Kabyanga. Those are descendants of Kindu. Omugusi and Omulogoli, sons of Andimi, pathways at Kabyanga. This is a video I made and I was refused to put a title. I don't know if I will be refused today. I've checked amongst my videos. It's put in such a way that when you want to put it again, it says delete. The picture is not there, so I'm doing it afresh. History is interesting. It takes us back to places we never imagined. The Western Bantu migrations. The word Bantu is used to refer to a person in the Bantu language. There are Bantu languages. These people supposedly came from Misri or Egypt. They came from Egypt. But in the history, we are taught they migrated from Cameroon region. So I don't know if that part was left and then we had now to get from Cameroon. But they started from Misri, went through where the Nilotes went, got there and came back through Western Uganda. From the Cameroon region. The story has it that they came from Kemet, went through the Nile region and entered from Western Uganda, where the Bantu, the founder, Kintu, set up his kingdom at a place called, I think it should be Entebbe area, towards that those areas. In the Western Kenya migration, Andimi, a descendant of Kintu, entered from Western Kenya near Nyanza or Inyanza, because Nyanza, it is in the Luo, it is Nam. Nam is lake in Luo. That's a Nilotic language. But in the Bantu, those who settled first, Nyanza means, Inyanza means lake. So lake in the Bantu languages of those who came first. And Omugusi and Mulogoli is lake. He had, Inyanza, he had two sons, Mulogoli, that is the descendant of Maragoli, and the wife was Mwanzu, that is the mother of Mulogoli, and Mugusi Anyore, Mugusi stroke Anyore stroke Nyore, descendants of his wife Diegu. So Omugusi or Gusi and Anyore, all are children of Diegu, the second wife of Andimi. Mulogoli is the first one, the child of a first wife, and called Mwanzu, and Omugusi or Gusi and the Anyore are from the lineage of Diegu, the second wife. Abanyore are also descendants of this lineage. There was a lot of pressure from the tribes they found in the region. When they came, they were the River Lake Nilotes who came also, and they put a lot of pressure trying to get them out of that area, their area. And there came the Kipsigis tribe. And these people put up a fight, but Mulogoli receded. And Omugusi wanted to continue with the fight. But when they could not agree with Mulogoli at a place called Kabyanga, they said, Kabyanga, let's part ways. So the Omugusi went to the Gusi highlands, the Mulogoli on these other sides of the lake. They could not overcome the pressure of the Kipsigis and the Luo who were in those areas. And these other area is also occupied by other Kindu descendants. And one of the Kindu descendants subordinate to the Buganda because they were under the rulers of the Kabakas, the Mukamas of Uganda. A descendant from Kindu came and established a kingdom of the Wanga. It stretched from Entebbe to Naivasha. That was the Wanga kingdom. So the Buganda kingdom ruled, and it had its descendant who was under it, who held the Buganda kingdom that time until past Naivasha. It's later that the Ma languages made some inroads and all that now the map is in the way it is when we say those are Ma areas, but by then it was the Wanga kingdom of Abawanga. Those were the ruling tribe in this region. And that's why you find many of their customs resemble the Buganda kingdom customs. Those ones had Kabaka. And these ones had Omwami or Nabongo. So it's an extension of those tribes. And for the first time, there was a former workmate called Omar. You worked with him, he is deceased. In the school where I was previously, in the Wildwind town, Nakuru, there was a time he told me that you Luyas and we Gusis come from the same ancestry. By then I had not gotten it well. And I asked Omar, what do you mean? He says, don't you know we parted ways at Kabianga? And I took it lightly. It was only recently when I was going through it that I realized we all belong to Kintu. And I used to wonder, what is Kintu Bay in Nyanza? It never used to occur to my mind. That is that area up to Naivasha was occupied by the people of Kindu, which include Wangas, Abanyode, Tanyode, Mulogoli, the Gusi. All these are Kindu descendants. But they were surrounded by the Kipsigis, the Highland Nilotes, and the Luo, the River Lake Nilotes. So, Nyanza is not a Nilotic name. It is a Bantu name by those who came from Kindu. It was in their kingdom, so they called it Lake Nyanza. The Luos call it Nam. Yala also is a place where there was a lot of water, swamp. It is Yala in Luya, and that's where it got the name Yala. So that was a place once occupied by the people of Kindu. The Wanga kingdom was set by the people of Kindu, and that was the extension of the Buganda kingdom. So, to my surprise, when I was going through this reminded me, so Omulogoli and Omugusi belong to Andimi, but their mothers are the only different one. And the most surprising, because I thought Anyore would belong to the side of Mulogoli, I realized Anyore belongs to the same mother with Omugusi. So the Western Nilotes and Western Bantus, that is your history. It's good we give because these histories are never given. It's a high time that we went back also to the old history, teach people from across the country where they originated from. That is the true origin of the Western Bantus and the lineage between Mulogoli and Omugusi. I end my lesson there by telling you that you are all grandchildren or descendants of Kindu, and that is where the name Kindu Bay in Nyanza came from. That is my take.